And welcome back to the show. This is still Entertainment Guide on DJ TV. My name is Prudent himself, and we're back again. Of course, today's conversation is going to be very, very unique. And of course, I've got two gentlemen in the studio. I've got my brother Bright in the studio. Bright, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. Trust you also.
I'm fine. Yeah, where do I go for?
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm fine.
Great. I like the green.
Yes, I'm looking like a bag of money.
Are you part of the green army?
You also look like Antonio.
I'm looking like a bag of money.
Okay.
Which one is the green army? This is a 24-hour army. Them said they sleep.
All right, guys, you can join the conversation on all our social media platforms, our Daily Guide Network on Facebook, IG, and of course Twitter, now X. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Entertainment Guide, and hit the subscribe YouTube button as well. We'd like to hear your feedback and of course get interactive with us on all our platforms. Guys, let's start off with, the new minister in charge of our sector, which is the Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, Honorable Jifa Blagomashi. She's been vetted and of course now she's been sworn in as the substantive minister for that sector. Quickly, we have not spoken about even her appointment. Did it come as a shock to you? Because it looks like there's an improvement or, promotion. She was deputy during John Dramani Mahama's first term, and now she's been elevated to the main post.
I don't say it's a shock, because I think she was part of the pool of people that were in our faces in terms of who they were going to select. So I don't think it was a shock. Like you said, she had already spent a term being the deputy minister. So she comes with a year's worth of experience. She understands the bureaucracy of the executive arm. She also understands the legislative side of parliament. So she's like a fine balance, you get it? Yeah. And she has experience on her side. So I don't think it came as a shock. Hopefully now creatives have gotten a creative. After years of screaming on top of our lungs, we now have a creative who is the minister, not deputy minister. Yeah. So I wish her the best. See how it goes.
All right. Right.
Yeah. I think we mentioned the last time that she's also someone who deserved nomination or deserved a spot. So if she's got it now, just as NYB said, it's a balance between all aspects of the sector, creative art, tourism, and then culture. Yeah. We could see that she has experiences in all aspects of it. So she looks like the right person for the job. But also, it's one thing having a face value of experience, and it's another thing turning that face value of experience into action. So we can only look for it. My only advice is she has to surround herself with people with knowledge, people with on-ground experience, people who can do the job and get going. That's what we are looking forward to. Nothing more, nothing less.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Do you guys think it was well received by the industry? Her announcement.
Well, I think mixed reactions, but I think majorly it's been more positive than negative. There are other names in the mix. Yes, other names who have been more vibrant in the space recently than she has. But like I'm saying, she has the governance experience on it. Like she understands the ministry. So in a way, she would know how to maneuver around. Also, she's the MP for the World Bank of NDC. That means that is a constituency that they get most of their votes from. So she's in a position to be influential when it comes to matters.
Okay.
And you get it. So that plays to her. Now, as to whether she will be successful, like Bryce said, just because you have all the titles does not necessarily mean you'll be effective.
Okay.
So she needs to, truly surround herself with people who would help her, because at the end of the day, there's an agenda she's been tasked to push, which is the Black Star Experience, which is the flagship program of the NDC, led by His Excellency JDM. So that is something we'll be looking at, because we will be looking at it from a critical eye. Because we've experienced year of the return, beyond the return. In fact, when it comes to December, we are spot for choice.
Exactly.
So if a lowest, we will know right now, this is not a ministry where if somebody comes and goes, you don't see you. We see the difference. We've seen the GDP that this industry has generated.
Yeah.
And her job is to maintain and improve.
Exactly.
Because there are still many loopholes, whilst also looking at the welfare of the creatives. And out of all the ministries, the most troublesome one is the tourism, culture and creative arts.
Yeah.
Because every day we are fighting. Every single day we are fighting.
Yeah.
So that is where the wahala is. Because I've seen that some of the agencies have started congratulating her. I've also seen some of the creatives who campaigned for the NDC vouching for positions. I've seen people fighting for Ms. Bell. I've seen the Kuma for me. I don't know as some particular role they want to give her, but someone says
Ghana Post. I heard something like Ghana Post.
Long John says Ghana Post. Long John says if football can do it, Ms. Bell can
also do it.
So and I've seen the Kuma people. They are winning sentence.
Yes.
Also vying for posts.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. And I think this one was not said. It's not like out there. But some of them have been to the agencies to try and figure out how things are. You see the way people were moving to Ghana Gas, and some of them have moved to certain agencies
already.
Oh, new dispensation. New dispensation.
Resetting.
They want to be there. Yes. Even though if you look at, I'm not saying they don't have the portfolio, but they don't look like they have the portfolio. Yes, they don't look like they have the. Yes, they campaign, but they don't look like. Because as people were doing their masters.
Yes.
If people were playing.
The likes of Utoku, no.
Yes.
They all go to school.
The crack in the masters, so the portfolio buy. Mom goes school.
All of them.
Mom goes school.
Yes.
Oh. I'm not saying anything negative.
Does not mention anybody's name.
I'm just saying that. Per the agency,
people were preparing themselves for this.
No,
Bright.
Going to school. That's why I said, going to school doesn't mean someone.
If you don't go to
productive.
If you don't go to school, you can't. No,
let's understand that.
Okay.
See, let's understand
that. What?
Your partner in business.
So
I have certain level of educational qualifications. I've been to SHS. I have never been to the university.
Yeah.
But I have a fair idea of what I'm doing. So I'm saying, for what you are saying, I understand your point. But let's also be privy to the fact that going to school does not mean someone will be productive. We'll be at school, but we're born.
Okay.
What you are saying.
And also,
but our first school.
And also,
so that be what I
tell him.
But that's the thing. Me and you, we are private sector.
Yes.
I get you.
We don't take you. Like let's say you.
Yeah.
I can't make you director of the creative arts agency.
Why not?
Because at the end of the day, there's always a base qualification.
And the
qualification. No. And the qualification is based. It's not subjective.
If at that point,
yes.
you are talking about chairman of the creative arts sector or something, and if I've built myself through the ranks, at least I have on-hand experience. Maybe I've been able to manage one or two sectors under that. I wouldn't need a WASI certificate to say that, okay, because of the WASI certificate, give me chairman of this sector or what.
Yeah,
it will have to be based on my experience or what I've done.
You need to understand public
it plays
service.
a part. No, it plays a part, but then it doesn't come to just that.
Right. At this point in time,
what are you talking about?
With the Babio, but yes, you see, they already laid down procedures. We are not talking about those procedures with the gringo.
We get to that there are people who have been to school and yesterday can't deliver.
Yeah.
And we know that there are people who may not have all the...
Who have not been to school. They've been in government. They've held some positions. And they deliver.
But right, as now...
It says here, look at you. We go school. You should go.
Go check his
CV. Go check his CV.
No.
Go check
his
CV.
Go check. Go check. He got country background.
Yes.
He was one member of parliament.
Yes.
He's a serious legislator. I think he's a...
Being a member of parliament, yes. School you go.
No, but that be a whole school.
No, but we are trying to tell you that...
change the conversation.
No, we are not changing...
He's an experienced
What
legislator.
you are saying is public...
Yeah, that's what I'm also saying, sir. You need experience.
But these people are talking about... These are
we are talking about this... Listen to me. We are talking about public service.
Yes.
Yeah.
Public service stuff. You need to go through a series of courses.
Yes, that one is true.
That is public. That's what I'm saying.
But you, if you get a certificate to take any of the public services, you know what the job they will give you.
Yeah, but that's
messenger, the things we know.
It be like saying you took no.
Guys, make a conversation.
No, like
so can make my point.
No, like you wait, like you use your WASI enter army.
Yes.
You can never become the general.
General, you can't be a
In
captain.
fact,
you
you
would have to.
you cannot be an officer. The best you can do is to be that be the highest.
But then if you built yourself through the ranks, though you are not educated, you ensure that okay.
But that's not the case now.
But
that's not the case. Is that the case?
If Nyansa is the best CB you could ever have,
we get your justification.
I understand.
But what I'm trying to tell you is, even if you find out the people who are trying to do the strong arming,
yes.
Okrabeka into we number some will lead we and
yes.
You get it. It's not as if they were going for NFM.
Big post.
The one way is the sweet.
Everybody wanted to blaze the sweet. That one they have seen that. I've noticed.
The one way the sweet.
So
you get it. So it's a stressful environment.
Yeah.
She's going to go through it because we don't give it easy. We like wahala.
Yeah.
Plenty wahala. The wahala we like plenty wahala.
Okay.
So what it means is she has to manage egos. That's one.
Okay.
Managing egos, especially actors, actresses, musicians, and associations. As you speak right now, I think it's Musica that has solved their issue.
Okay.
With Uncle Besa being chairman.
All right.
They are still infighting with the Actors Guild, the FIPAG.
Yeah.
Like they are still like associations which are struggling to find unity. So it has to also be a part of her strategy, uniting all these individual agencies so that they're able to come to the table and we find a solution for most of the issues that we face. You get me?
Yeah.
And as a minister, she's not like the mother of all of us. Because at the end of the day, whatever we need, we would have to channel it through her.
Yeah.
The rest of the people who we think are critics, who are MPs, they are not there for us.
They're there for their constituency.
They are you get it. And good enough, she has a lot of people with experience in her party.
Yes.
KOD, Redemption the Runway, Rexoma, musician.
Gambo, at the Gambo too.
See, he hasn't been really successful with Gambo. So.
Oh, bro.
No, you are the one.
But he could learn from the failures.
Oh yes. We are hoping. We are hoping. Okay, in the previous years, you could say that maybe the government is frustrating me,
but now
because their license were taken. But now government in power, was actively campaigning.
He's part of the government.
Yes, in fact, he's part of those who.
So we'll see a very smooth Gambo operations.
That's what I'm hoping to see. Okay. Because if it does not translate, then I don't see. Then Baba Sadiq. Yes. Fortunately, unfortunately. Unfortunately, did not become an MP. Fortunately for the industry. Now he's not just about Okaiko Central. Now it's about all of us. He can come back to us with open arms. We are ready for him. So he's there. World of experience, event organizing, and the whole
Miss Bell.
The whole show is like the whole campaign is based on events. The Blaster experience.
Yes.
So this is someone who can definitely project manage most of these things. Yeah. And he has the voice for it. We are all of us by force. We are Baba in boys. Or we are Baba in boys. So that one today we work for the betterment.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
Miss Bell Tracy Boache.
Okay. Yes. I know I'm
Chief of Staff, Deputy Chief of Staff.
Then
protocol.
So you have to start talking about the creatives. King Jerry Dems.
King Jerry,
Funny, Miss Bell. When you go to Kumawood.
So who are you taking?
Actress now. The actress who has a big Awuni, Christian
Awuni.
Then the one who likes insulting. No, you don't go gilly but
the man.
The
woman. No.
The man who likes insulting.
He's cutting between man and woman.
Yes, he too is there. Then Mr. Beautiful too is there. So
yes, these are all people who are going to help.
Who are part of the NDC.
Okay, but Bright, what do you make of the Honorable Abla Ego Mashe's vetting?
Oh.
I mean, if you watched it, how did you think she did?
The vetting?
Yeah.
For the questions, and I'm not in any position to say I know better than the parliamentarians.
Yeah.
Let's make that disclaimer. I'm just saying, I wish the questions were more probing enough for the sector that she's going to.
Yeah.
I was hoping, or in my judgment, I thought it could have gone beyond what they asked. There were some expectations which I didn't get. There were some answers which I felt they could have probed her further so that we will understand the whole scope of what she's also bringing on board.
Okay.
It felt passive for me, but also that's why I say there are others whose vetting may have triggered all the headlines, had the excellent probing and everything, but then they will still get to the sectors and they wouldn't be able to
deliver.
So let's just look at the work and not
so like
the
an
example
of someone who probably didn't do good at vetting, but was good at her ministry.
How comes? Oh.
I didn't even need to mention the name you mentioned. So
no,
it means it's true.
No, we all knew
she was vetted for about 7 hours, right?
Is that?
She was vetted for about 7 hours.
Oh, and they say she didn't force.
Fish farm.
No, we all know who didn't force.
Okay, guys, let's talk about the Creative Arts Fund. I think it was one of the center conversations during her vetting. She tried to give some explanation. The fund, she wants to get to the space before she understands the situation. Yeah, what do you make of it?
The NDC are clueless about the fund.
Is it just the NDC or we are all very clueless about the fund?
The reason why NDC is clueless, the NDC is the ones who are proposing it. It's not all of us who propose Creative Arts Fund. So once it's your manifesto, you need to find a way of financing it. No. Because I remember before the election.
No, I'm coming. Let's make this correction. It's not just the NDC who proposed it. It was proposing even the former regime, and it was trying to get operationalized. So it's not just a thing from the NDC.
I mean, I'm talking about manifestos. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
You are talking about the Creative Arts Fund, right? And and you are saying the NDC.
Was it in their manifesto?
It was in NDC's manifesto.
Yes, we are talking about.
But I'm saying it has been operationalized before.
In their first day.
In the other government.
What you are trying to...
they start from.
We are not talking about the other government.
Oh, what?
We are talking about...
Because her vetting, she was asked questions about the Creative Arts Fund.
And she said,
other
government.
Oh, no, NYB, I don't know they...
So let me
talk
finish.
Something you talk, say, if they come from... What they talk, you say, no, the first time we heard Creative Arts Fund was not just limited to the NDC.
Okay.
It's something we've heard before where them start
because it was started in the first...
NDC
government. Because it did not become operationalized.
Yes, that's what I was saying, that even when Jifa Gamashi was the deputy, that thing was there.
Yes. Yeah, but then start time, so you know now they start.
Yes, but now the originator is now back to
yeah, so that's why I'm saying that they've been clueless to how they are going to fund it. Because before the elections, Rex Omar came to Peace FM and I asked the question, it's good, how are we funding it? He could not give any tangible reason to how they are going to fund it. And that's where the biggest issue is, because the fund is a good thing. In fact, it's a marvelous thing. But when you do not have a dedicated way of funding it, it becomes a struggle. Because government cannot allocate money for the Creative Arts Fund and not find a way of replenishing it when it runs out. You understand? So that's why I'm saying, because if you listen to her answers, she was always saying external. You can't depend on external people to give you funding. You can't use external funds to run a fund. So you need something that is operationalized in order to make that money. Either you are taxing bars extra, or you are taking, you are using the blanket levy that is usually on equipment. When you go to when you import like TV, radios, pen drives, CDs, you pay a blanket levy, which that money we don't even know where it goes.
Yeah.
You get it. And these are simple. So if this is going to be like the central point of funding, it could have been stated.
Yes.
But right now they've not stated anything. And I feel like if you do not, it's like I said I'll sign you. I don't tell you how much I'll sign you for. I'm wasting your time. You get me? So it needs to be established, and that is the only way we are going to establish a Creative Arts Fund that is going to last a longer period, because now you have a way of getting money put in. Are we going to put some taxes on the Gamro funds that will come back into the Creative Arts Fund? Is there going to be like the dues that the Creative Arts Agency said they are going to do Creative Arts Agency card? Is that money going to feed into the fund? These are answers that we need, because once you've written it in your manifesto, I'm assuming that you've already developed the way of making it. But unfortunately, Rex Omagati couldn't say it. Honorable Jifa Gomashi couldn't also say it. So that is where my challenge is. So that's why I believe that they are currently clueless. But hopefully, now that they are in government, it's going to be easier for them to find the knowledge base because they have the people. If they don't even have the people, external people are there to consult. You get me?
Okay, but what do you have to say about this?
Yeah, so I think NYB has said something. He said something that I also give into. Aside maybe one of the differences, but it's something I give into. That primarily when you want to roll out a fund,
Yes.
you don't just sit down and look out for what someone will come and give you.
Okay.
If you do way more, you go chop. You know, say it be from your own pocket. You know, they do your budget based on
And
what
somebody will
someone.
give you. You know, for rely on somebody.
And there are many avenues. I'm divided between taxation and what it should be used for. But if it will be used for something right, then
Why not?
why not? Because when you see a water bottle, there is a packaging. Whatever packaging that was done, it came from the creative thinking of someone. It's a creative art.
Yes.
So you could put a levy on it.
Yeah.
NYB they wear shada.
Yeah.
The dress also came from someone's doing. It's creative art. So
thank you.
yeah, free PR. But then you could tax avenues, or there are avenues you could make money from to make the fund solid. Once we don't know where those avenues or the avenues that the monies will be coming from, then it means that the funding is just a creation of vacuum where today we might have the money, tomorrow we might not have. So we can't just, so we are hoping to see a full scope of what the art will be about, where the funding will be. Because last time I raised an issue about it, and Kwame Dadzi, a learned colleague, like he raised my attention to even the structure of the funding, what it's used for. I felt there could be more to it than what he got my understanding to. So I think it's something that even in the first 100 days, President Mahama has showed what he would do. It's something the sector needs. So maybe she should also try to sit down with the people, the agencies, the stakeholders involved, and give a fair understanding to creatives what or where funding will be from and what the fund is supposed to be for.
I also hear that it's not something that creatives can get access to it. I mean, it will be loaned to fund their activities. How true is that one to you?
Yeah, so that brings me to what I said, because I was looking at how it could be operationalized for government to even give support to rising artists and everything.
Yes.
Then Kwame said, oh, if you didn't look at this thing, then you'll be disappointed because you know be so. But when I looked at some of the things that it said, it raised questions about using the fund to support production and all. And in my understanding, all those things might fall under it. That's why I'm saying they are in the best position to educate us on it. So once they are in government now, they should actually engage us and let us know what it will be used for.
Yeah. So to add, I think there's a lot of education that would go on because, like you mentioned, people don't even know, or we don't even know how we can access the fund and which criteria allows us to access the funds. I've been fortunate to be in certain rooms where I've heard about different funds. I know different places give different funds, especially in France. There's a lot of funding for different courses. But the baseline is usually you have to do 80% to 90% of what you are going to use the money for locally.
Okay.
So if I'm to access a fund from France, I would have to spend 80 to 90% in France.
Same country, yeah.
Based on recording, everything has to be done because at the end of the day, the money goes back
into the
local economy. You get me? So these are things you need to look at because I don't expect to give a fund to someone and the person will go to South Africa. Or no, you get me?
It makes sense. Yeah.
The money will not come back into our economy. So there needs to be guidelines to how the money is dispersed. Ideally, engage with, or at least now we have the Ghana Film Authority. They could handle grants and funds for movies. They can kind of look at the assets and see whether they can. Then we don't have a music side yet. Probably Musica could be like the consulting agency to determine how artists can also get funds for musical works and stuff. Same for the Creative Arts Agency, which is like a mother for every single person.
Yeah.
So I think these are things we can look at and things we are hoping they'll be able to achieve in the first year.
Right.
We don't want any plenty talking.
Just before you see what they talk, that be how they drive policy. But we get the money now. They go South Africa, go shoot video. They go South Africa, go. But if the funding stipulates what it's going to do and it gives funding to our local people, then you can now tell them to whatever day South Africa is say, you have an alternate thing here.
Arrangement here.
Yeah. So say we can be able to depict our tourist sites.
Exactly. And also a lot of people get employed. I mean,
that be the thing.
The value chain and all that.
And the people in charge of the fund should be people who are not corrupt. Because in this...
I know my brother.
Yes, in this era we are in, 50% my own, 20%, 30%. We do not need that.
Yes.
We do not need that in this industry.
Exactly.
Sure.
Yes, because naturally we are corrupt by nature. If you allow us an inch, we take a yard.
Yeah. Teleta Ghana Music Awards has actually opened nomination for creatives, artists, producers, and of course labels to submit their works of their talents. And this is the 26th edition of the biggest award scheme in the country. How excited are we for this edition for TGMA?
Well, I think the excitement started early. Can't get this Amrado.
Yes.
Yeah, Amrado said the ball rolling.
Yeah.
When he did his press soiree, giving some bold statements and all. So yes, I think this year is more exciting. It's more exciting this year, to be honest, because of how the conversation started. And I think they themselves have felt it. That is why they are also tapping in. And that's how it's supposed to be. And as much as yes, we have differences, our all schemes are meant to stimulate the industry. They are not meant to be like a passive. They have to be very active. So I'm glad they've tapped in. They've announced, I think, 2 new categories.
Yes, that one.
Interesting categories, which is good. At least it means they are gradually, at least in time, they are also looking at the trends and figuring it out.
These new categories are the Best Urban Contemporary Gospel and Best African Song categories.
They are giving Africa 2. So but the best. So big ups to the urban gospel artists who've been fighting for this. At least now this is here. It's now your time to also shine and produce more music. Don't go and sleep. Otherwise, you'll take it back. But I think they missed a big opportunity in bringing back the group of the year.
You still stand by that?
Yes, they've missed a very big opportunity to bring back the group of the year. Last year was fire for groups, so. Dope Nation, Bad Mayors.
Bad Mayors analogy.
For reality, Bad Mayors, Lali and Lola. Like we've had a lot of groups coming up. Keche were active.
Lali and Lola came out, but were they active?
They were in our faces.
With music, they just don't have to be in our face. So I feel they're your face, but I don't get nothing to show.
No, but they had music. They organized their own show.
No, music.
They were on all the major stages. That's what I'm saying. You see, just because.
No, I want to hear the music.
Group of the year is not just
I get it, but I get it. But the bass,
they released a project.
Called.
They had their own event.
Why are you trying to ambush me?
No, I'm not ambushing you. See,
they have a group called Journey Begins.
They do. I accept.
They even won
Lali and Lola
Music Awards.
Lali and Lola are always in our faces.
I don't even know why you want us to debate
that. Please let's not do that.
Let's not do
that.
Let's do
that. Let's continue.
It's not about
so you believe that they missed out on the group of the year.
Including you see, that's why the bands are also groups.
Yes.
The bands are groups.
Also,
Defe.
Yes.
Team Eternity.
Isn't it a group?
It's a group.
It's a group.
So TGMA, please bring back the group.
Yes,
of
so
the
they missed a perfect opportunity to bring back.
And look at how Dope Nation is just dropping bangers.
Yes.
Artists of the year.
You see, because they could have.
They have what it takes to be there.
They have.
Nomination.
So the opportunity was there for them to bring it back. Because the reason they took it out was they were not seeing a lot of active groups. So now that there are more active groups, we need to encourage them. You get me? Encourage them so that they bounce back.
Great. Right.
And even on the Dope Nation note, it just struck me that if they are ever nominated for Artist of the Year nomination. It is a disservice to them for not being
in the group of the
year, because the number of nominations you get as an artist also counts to you winning all. Yeah, and now out of something that is not their doing, they are